Ghazal Kane says, "Hi Luke, I'm going to work with some British people next month and I'm having a lot of trouble with their accent and feel nervous about it. Do you have any advice for me?" This is a great question, and I'm going to try to put myself into your position. What would I do if I were going somewhere and needed to understand something that I wasn't really used to? For some people, they may be more used to one accent rather than another. People maybe who grew up watching some American movies and American TV shows. A lot of American English is out there, maybe more than British English even, depending on what you watch, for example, and the culture you're more exposed to. But if you haven't been exposed to a lot of British culture and the British dialect, British accent, then it could be a challenge for you, right? And I get it. When I first started watching British movies and TV shows, I struggled with a lot of the idioms and phrases, right? And so just watching more really helped me get a sense for it. So I'm going to suggest two things. This would be slightly better advice if you were to say in 6 months instead of 1 month, because 1 month is kind of a short time frame, but I'll still say it. So try to gain as much exposure to the language and culture as you can within that period of time. I would recommend watching some real life language rather than watching a sitcom or a TV series, drama or something like that, because that's written. Instead, watch something where it has real people talking to each other about stuff. One I can recommend would be perhaps QI. It's a quiz show, and previously it was hosted by what's his name? What's his name? I just blanked on his name. Why can I not remember his name? Hosted by a very famous guy. And it's great because it's got jokes, it's got references, it's got a lot of language, and it's real language, right? And there are other British quiz shows as well. They're also funny. Now, the reason I say to watch that is you also get exposure to the culture. One reason people understand a language is that they also understand what the language is referring to. But if you don't know the culture very well, then you might know that word, but you don't know what it is referring to in the culture, something specific to that culture. So there might be things specific to the UK that I don't know because I didn't grow up there. But I can slowly start to learn those things as I watch movies and TV shows, right? And the more you learn, the easier it gets. So what I've found, it gets easier and easier and easier to understand more and more and more the more I watch. So that would be my first recommendation. Now, as I said, that's a pretty tight timeline, right? 1 month. How much TV can you watch in 1 month, right? There you might need a kind of express version. You might start looking up word differences between the UK and the United States. There are a lot of blogs that have this information, just trying to get a sense for some of the words like queue instead of line or lorry instead of truck, some of the words that are different between the United States and the UK, between British English and American English, right? Oh, I remembered what it is. Stephen Fry was the original host of QI. Stephen Fry. Great, amazing voice. He did the voiceover for the Sherlock Holmes Audible books, and it is amazing. He also wrote a series of books called Mythos, Heroes, and Troy, and those are also very good. He does the voiceover for those on the audio version. Stephen Fry. Sorry, Stephen Fry. So those would be two things you can do. And to get used to the accent, I mean, all you can do is increase your exposure, right? So just watch more. And hopefully you can get enough in a month's time. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Would be better if it were 6 months, but I wish you the best of luck.